know if anyone follows my stories about mental health and like what I've been going through and stuff. I doubt anyone does. But I went through a mental health episode, quite a few of them, in the month of May before my wedding. I was sent to a mental institution to be administered some new medications because I had to like restart from from the bottom. I had to restart my medications all over again, which was a nightmare. And then later on that month, I had another manic episode that I didn't tell anybody about because the doctor didn't answer the phone, and I was like, oh well. and then um, and then before the wedding, like a week before the wedding, I had like a medically supervised panic attack because I don't remember what happened, but I had to go to the ER. They put this stuff on me and ended up having a panic attack while like hooked up to all this heart monitor stuff, and it was pretty scary. But yeah, and then after my wedding, I had another manic episode. But to sum this up, I made a video on my TikTok, um, which this will probably be on, of this is a book that I had with me in the mental hospital. They let me color it and do all kinds of stuff with it. Um, and so when I got there, I was very insistent on um, I was very insistent on them giving me a pen and some paper, like a notebook, because I had so many things that I thought I figured out about life um, that I needed to save for myself. And I went through this book um, shortly after I got out of the mental hospital. I went through this book, and I believe I posted it on TikTok. I don't think anyone really looked at it or saw it. But I want to look through it again because I feel like, I don't know, I'm more level headed, I'm doing a lot better, and I want to see, like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Is there anything good in here? Maybe there is something good in here. Okay, so I'm going to have to cover up some things because there's like some phone numbers in here, some other stuff. Okay, so the first thing that I thought I figured out was to follow the rules. Um, and that, by that I mean, like, when you're a child, you're taught if you follow the rules, you won't get in trouble, right? Um, so I thought if I just followed the rules being things that are expected of me, um, that I would get further in life and be happier. Um, but right now, how things are going, following the rules doesn't seem like it's going to get me where I want to go because the rules right now, as we know, with the shutdown that we are having, I don't think the rules are working really. So I don't know how I feel about that. Number two, give people the time to show you who they are. This one, I I gotta say I haven't looked at this since the last video. Um, I do really agree with this. Um, I think people are too quick to um, I think people are very quick to dismiss other people, whether it be because they have different beliefs than you, whether or not they have um, like one thing maybe that you just really don't like. Like maybe you talk to someone online and you vibe and you find out, oh, they like Trump now. So maybe I don't want to be friends with them anymore because I disagree with them because of that. But just because they support that person doesn't mean that them are bad people. It doesn't mean that we need to hate the people that think differently than us. So I feel like we really do need to have time to get to know more people and let them show you who they are. People speak their actions when you give them time to open up. So I feel like that is still pretty good. Um, I've been trying to make more friends and open up to people, and I've, you know, met some people that were really cool but just weren't for me. But they were good people, and then there were some people that, I could tell weren't very good people that I wouldn't want to really associate with too much. But okay, number three. People are a product of their environment. They were not all raised to think the same as me. So, that's true. Everyone is a product of their environment. I believe that because of a lot of things that I've learned along my mental health journey. Um, I've learned that a lot of mental health issues develop in childhood, um, which can be the, the environment around the child, um, and trauma related and things like that. Um, so, and also not in just that, but also if you come from a lower class family, um, people seem to think that you're a product of that. Um, and anyway, so like I was raised in a lower class side of town where everyone was kind of um, just on the line of getting by. Um, and we were all raised together, so we were all kind of the same age. We all, uh, like all of the kids in the block were around the same age. We all went to the same school. We went to the same park programs. We all hung out together and had each other's backs, and that's just how that was. But then when you go out of, let's say, when you go and grow up and you get out of high school and you start going into the working world and you start watching the news when you get older and you learn that there are people out there that think differently than you. There are people out there that think vastly different than you, that are in power, that you don't agree with, And um, so a lot of people do get, I think me writing this down is basically for me to say um, that I should give people a chance because not everyone was raised like I am. They don't have the same values that I have, and that goes for a lot of other people as well. You have different values than me, and that's totally fine. That's fine. Um, and then I wrote number four. Everyone is trying to survive, and I think right now that is very true. Um, right now we're in a shutdown, and we are people are losing their food benefits. They're losing um, other benefits as well. But the one I'm most in upset about is the food one. I grew up using that program. A lot of people I know grew up using that program. Um, People in my family still use that program, and it's very hard to see people in my community and people that I know, and knowing that it was something that I used. It upsets me a lot, and I feel like right now everyone is in survival mode. They are doing what they can to get by to pay their bills. Now they have to worry about food, and it's insane. And you're not in this alone. All of us are just trying to survive this crazy world that we are living in right now. Number five is there has always been some asshole, like you know who. Um, so when I was doing this, I realized I was doing some history uh, watching and learning, and I realized that there was always whoever was in the office or a higher, you know, higher than others. They seem to always be some kind of jerk, for like a long time. And there's always been some way that the country has come together to um, change, to make change. And so, we can go back to Obama, change. His whole thing was change. And we did change. We changed a lot. We improved a lot. And now a lot is being taken away and a lot is being backtracked. And that really, really sucks. Um, so It makes me feel better and a little more optimistic to know that there are people that are trying to push this change, that are trying to push uh, the narratives that they don't believe in, whether you believe in what I believe in or your own beliefs. I'm glad that people are standing up for what they believe in, whether it's something I agree with or not. Um, but yeah. Um, it says, I can do good and express myself and make money to survive. There will be others that uh, align with the thoughts you have if you are patient and think you can find a way to speak their language. Okay, so when I had um, my episode, I thought that everything I was watching, I guess there's a story of what happened. I think I have it posted somewhere of what happened during my manic episode, but um, I thought that there was a secret communities that you had to find that were personal to yourself. Like everyone had their own little pocket of like communities that um, that had different like ways to communicate with them, because I feel like there's a lot of ways to communicate with different people if you know how to talk to people. Like I can talk to someone, to anybody, I really feel like, and not everybody's like that. Um, so I think I'm just probably trying to sell myself to be patient and maybe try to uh, find people. I really wanted to find people who thought the same as me and that wanted community like I did. And yeah. And number 7 was, I wasn't raised or remember being told about history, but knowing what I know now makes sense of how we got here. Okay, so with that being said, I have a GED. I did not take high school or school very seriously. I did get my GED when I was 17, so it was like my junior year. Um, so it wasn't that I was dumb or anything. I just didn't want to do school. I wanted to be out of there. And so history, I remember being one of my favorite classes, but I do have a pretty bad memory because of my mental stuff. So I don't remember a lot about it. So there was a lot of things that I was looking up before I had my episode about history, um, that kind of cleared some things up for me. Like I looked up about women's rights and about like why the right is what the way they are, right, the left is where they are. I looked up a bunch of different things, and then just things throughout communities like Black lives, Hispanic lives, just all different kinds. Like I'm in a very culturally diverse city. I grew up in a very culturally diverse city, so I feel like I know how to I don't know. I guess I just didn't really know too much about American history. Like I kind of feel like they, I don't know, maybe just didn't stick with me. Either way. Anyway, life is like high school. That was something I was thinking, because it seems like we have the higher ups, like the billionaires. We have the politicians. We have um, celebrities. We have all these rankings of people, and I guess I thought life is like high school. Um, Number 9, I'd like to make very evident that I, even in my manic state, thought of Taylor Swift. It says, Taylor Swift is an inspiration and the biggest example of what can be achieved if you follow your dreams and work hard. And I definitely stand by that. I think Taylor Swift is great. Um, and I'll just leave it at that. And okay, so number 10, the internet is a form of self expression and curiosity. So I do think the internet can be used as a great form of self-expression. Like you have, your pages, like your Instagram pages, your YouTube pages, your TikToks. You have so many different places that you can go um, and express yourself. And you can go and find communities that are people that like the same things that you like, that whether it's niche or mainstream or whatever, you can go into that little pocket of the internet and, and find your place. And a lot of people are using the internet to express themselves, whether it be their beliefs, whether it be um, just, being themselves. And of course, you can use the internet for curiosity, whether it be things that you think that you don't want to ask other people. Like they do have AI, which I don't 100% trust, um, but you could ask maybe AI, you can ask Google, you can read articles on things. You can let your curiosity go wild kind of with the internet, where before, like in my time, we only had books, we only had the actual library to go to look up information. We didn't have, you know, the world at our fingertips at that time. So, what part am I on? So, the internet is where you build community, be yourself, and you will find your people. So, like I just said, little pockets of community, and I'm just telling me to be myself, and I will find my people. And I do believe I will find my people. It probably will take me some time, and it might, you know, not be that great, but I'm gonna find my people someday. Okay, number 12. Mental illness is a way to cope with life and events that go on around you that you can't control. And why I put this here, I think is because uh, the reason why I had my manic episode is because I was taking in too much information of things that I didn't agree with, like things that really upset me and really triggered me, and it it triggered all of that triggered a manic episode, and um, it it was like the first manic episode where like I wasn't in control of myself, and what I was saying was like, I finally figured things out. I finally figured life out. Like everything's gonna be okay. I kept saying like everything's fine. Like oh my god, like I know what to do. I know what to do, and it was just like I know that's because I was like taking too much in, um, and so yeah, I really did think that really triggered a mental breakdown for me, and um, so now I have to limit how much like of that information I take in a day, because it isn't healthy for me, and it doesn't mean that I don't want to be informed or I don't want to know what's going on in the world around me. But as far as for my mental health, I really can't. Like I cannot take in too much, or they told me I had a new trigger, and it was called injustice. And I was like, how am I supposed to live in a world where my trigger is injustice, and I feel like I'm seeing injustice like all around me? Like, how does that work? I don't know. How does it work? All right, number 13. Your life really is what you make of it. And that one is very true. You can literally do or be whatever you want. I really believe that. And especially now, like in America, do or be whatever you want. Like there is nothing stopping you right now, um, unless there's certain things that can stop you. But if you're careful, you can be who you want to, and not get in trouble for it. um, 14. You will come back and the game will reset. Okay, that one's crazy, and I'll have to go into a deeper dive into why I put that. But it says you will come back and the game will reset, and that is it is a darker meaning, and it's something that I would have to really, um, yeah, take some time to answer that one. You have been trained to play this game, and your whole life you may not know that. But you have been trained to play this game your whole life, may not know that. Your whole life may not know that. Okay, so I had some thoughts about like how we were raised learning these games, right? We're learning these games and we're taught these rules to play these games, and then there's winners and there's losers, and you play the games and you learn different things. Um, and which one was I on? I'm sorry, this whole notebook is like all the papers are separated. Where did it go? Yeah, so I basically was like, yeah, you've been trained to play these games and your whole life. So since you were a kid, you're basically been trained to play games, and those games will help you like learn things. You'll get prizes, you'll get rewards, all of that. So we have been trained to play these games, and we are playing. I feel like we're playing the game now, but we're not being rewarded. We're not getting our gold stars. We're not getting our pats on the back. We're not getting anything really to show for uh, how we're playing the game right now. You can be at the top still. You can be doing your very very best, and you know where's your gold star? Where's your where's your trophy? You know, and it kind of sucks. It totally sucks. And I wrote our ancestors dealt with worse. I don't know why I thought that would make us feel better, but our ancestors dealt with worse. I watched a video on 25 foods from the Great Depression, and like, no, not from the Great Depression, from our grandparents, and it went all the way back to the Great Depression, and it went through like potatoes and rice and how much it cost at the time, and like how many bellies it could fill, because back then they had so many larger families. You know, they had like 6 kids, you know, 5, 7, whatever, and it went through these meals that you know could feed a family that are very cheap. And um, I was thinking about that, and I was like, are we really gonna have to like go back to those times, you know? And I know that families that are low income are going to have to go back to those times, like when I grew up on just like tortillas and butter and like rolled up, and you know, what else? What else did I just have? I had a lot of toast. I had a lot of toast. I had a lot of peanut butter sandwiches. I had a lot of hamburger helper. I had a lot of ramen. I had, you know, um, like spaghetti, uh, things like that. And I think if we get more creative with the resources that we have, we can definitely like get through this. Um, like if we start looking more into, you know, cost-effective meals, things that you can make with um, things that you have around your house. So, or I guess since you know, some people are going from the food pantries. If you're giving, you can't choose what you're really getting from the food pantry. They give you like a box. I don't know if you've ever been to a food pantry, but they give you a box that has miscellaneous items in it, and you don't really know what you're gonna get in there. It's gonna be whatever they give you, and you have to, and then you have to go and decide with what they give you from the food pantry what kind of meals you're gonna make. And thankfully now we have the internet, and hopefully people can find, you know, really good uh, ways to stretch and make meals that are filling and stuff for their families from what they are getting provided from the food banks and the shelters that are giving out food right now. So I'm gonna end this here. It's been about 25 minutes. I didn't go totally through my list of things. I stopped at number uh, yeah, I stopped at number 16. Number 16. Okay. Bye. Bye.